All right. You ready to bring the heat? Because this is no shade. We are doing the over-under episode today. I am Alex Lorenzo alongside Joe Black. Joe, how are you doing today? Before we get into it, wanted to shoot it over to you and just get a housekeeping.
Little vibe check today.
Yeah, just vibe check. I'm going to be talking for a little while. I just want to get a vibe check. How you doing?
Yeah, no, doing good over here. Weather's finally nice. I mean, it's always during the week, I feel like. So I was able to get outside a bit. Got the Rockets on in the background right now. They're up 20 in the first half, so it's hopefully not the end of the road for them, facing off elimination. But no, things are going well. Another day in the life of the podcaster.
As we were just going over pre-pod, he's like, well, how do we want to start? What do we want? What's the formula? And I was going over it, and I was like, as about to start, I was like, that's me talking a lot. I was like, let me send it over to Joe as I'm hitting record. I was like, let me surprise him.
No, this is perfect. As soon as you're done, I'm sure it will be halftime, and I'll be ready to go. So this is great.
Yeah, the first half of the NBA does not matter, even in the playoffs, even in the finals.
No.
But yeah, we want to get right into it, the Connecticut Sun seem to be making cuts. They're waiving players before any other team. Before the first day of camp, they waived Morgan Molly, who had just signed as a UDFA after the draft, along with Madison Hayes, who is still on the team. I'm not sure could have gone into this decision at all. They cut her very early. It seemed like 1 or 2 days after they signed her. She was gone. Maybe they watched more film. They were like, Morgan Molly and Madison Hayes. We need both. One of them. Just get both of them, and then we'll decide later. And then they watched film and picked Madison Hayes. I guess that could be maybe the only decision I could have come up with, because it's like maybe she got to the building in time just to be released, but I don't even think.
I wonder if something went into like, hey, we're gonna sign you, and then maybe something happened. Maybe she's gonna go play overseas. Maybe she's not looking to join a team. After the fact, if they're like, hey, do you have a very limited chance of making the roster? Maybe there's another team out there who's like talking to her and saying, hey, keep your options open. You never know what's going on behind the scenes. But I mean, yeah, to see someone get cut before they even made it into the camp, I'm sure something had to be going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, very, very strange, considering nobody else is being cut either by anyone else. After day 2, Abby Shue and Maya Hollingshed also were cut. Again, just surprised based off of personally surprised just based off of how early in camp, but not surprised based off of who got cut. I didn't have either. We're gonna get there, but I didn't have either making the squad. But yeah, we'll get there. But Joe, what did you think?
Yeah, I don't know too much about Hollingshed, right? Pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah.
So I didn't know too much about her. So not too much info there on the cut. Shue, on the other hand, I thought was a social media darling. I know I texted that to you a couple of times. Felt like a lot of the posts had her working out, had her shooting jumpers, had her, So I was like, oh, maybe there's an outside chance, like they know something about her, the social media team. But yeah, unfortunately, she was one of the cuts as well. Again, we had 21 people. I think the number they had to get to was 18 for these games that are coming up and for the practices. So I think this just, 3 people that they decided as a whole, like, hey, we're going to start knocking people off. And we've seen enough of what we need to see after a week, a couple of days of all the workouts. And, now they got to continue to go from 18 to 12. It would appear we might have lost Alex for a second. I think we're having some slight technical difficulties. Just hang on, everybody. Talk a little bit about what the plan is for the rest of this episode. Probably will talk about the rosters, our little predictions, since there have been some cuts made as we're moving forward. We got to get down to 12 roster spots, 18 people there. So we'll kind of go through who we think are locks, who we think are going to be maybes, and then who's probably on the bubble or on the outside looking in. And then I know that our plan was to do a bunch of over-unders, that's including things like season record, including things like points per games by players, specific players, couple things going. So I think I'm just going to keep talking here. Alex says that he said his Wi-Fi went out, so going to continue going through. I guess get my opinion a little bit of some of the things we've talked about. And I also know that we wanted to mention the open practice as well. So we got a lot of great feedback, which is awesome. I know Alex posted to our page, getting a lot of feedback from you guys about the event. We kind of joked. That, we didn't hear about it. We didn't know this was going on. Did more digging into it, and we realized that it was a private event for season ticket holders. So that obviously made sense. But yeah, so I know we got a lot of great feedback on what we're restarting. All right, never mind. I don't know if I know how to end. Oh, maybe not. Maybe we're going to stay. But again, we got a lot of feedback from you guys about your experiences, what you had going on, meeting the players, watching the practice, getting a little bit of the coaching themes. So I know Alex will, there he is now, but I know Alex will go into more detail about a lot of the feedback that we received on Instagram. Alex, I was just giving them a rundown of what this episode is going to look like, and then between the over-unders, whether it's records and players, stats, and then talk about the open practice as well. So you did not miss too much. We made it.
Cool. I did not think that it would still work because I have to hit record on my end.
Yeah, it's weird. It was still recording. I was like, either I'm going to have a nice conversation with myself, or the beautiful, lovely people who are listening get to hear my sulky voice for a little bit before you take over here.
All right, yeah, cool. Shout out to StreamYard. I was just going to start over and try again and hopefully do a better first half again. But where were we?
We were just talking about the roster cuts. We just finished up, so we wanted to either head to our roster predictions, talk about the open practice, whichever order we want to go. Over unders, save to the end.
Yeah, let's get to the open practice. But first, shout out to Spectrum Internet. They're terrible. If you have to live in anywhere where Spectrum Internet is, yeah, please move.
Not a sponsor. Hashtag it.
They're terrible. I can't believe Joe lives 3 minutes from me and doesn't have Spectrum.
Frontier, baby.
All right. I want to shout out our great. I even hate saying fans because who are we? We don't have fans.
Community.
Our supporters, our community, the Sun community for filling up the DMs. Pretty not even early. I got on this late. I put out just a post saying if you were at the event last night or yesterday, because it was during the day, I believe it was at noon. Please DM us and tell us about it. I think I said I was pretty vague, and so a lot of people were like, I was there. So I would go back and forth and say, please, what happened? Did anybody stand out? Damn it. Sorry, I have to burp. Excuse me. And Yeah, I said, did anybody stand out to you, good or bad? Um, how was the fan interaction? If you met anybody, were they nice? So, like, what stood out? Did you have any conversations? How was it? And just any overall vibes. So, here's all the shout outs to all the people that were in the DMs and that were at the event, and this is what they had to say. Um, so first was Sam Wegler. They had to say, cool to get an intro to the coaching staff. The team looked good. Been skeptical about this team, but it got me hyped. That's a big thing. You'll hear a lot of people uh, left with the feeling of actually getting getting hyped for this team when they were feeling down going into this event. They had a gray versus orange scrimmage, and it seemed like orange could be the starters, but Mora was on the sideline. They did autograph lines. They split with my wife. Was got 8 signatures. Jen Rosati spoke and mentioned that they hope to do more autograph meet and greets throughout the season to get more fan engagement. That's awesome. I don't know how I know how you think. You're like me. We love a good old autograph signing, a good old meet and greet, a good old video of a person meeting their sports hero, and seeing how this the sports person acts with that person.
I saw one video of Sanaya meeting a young fan, and he was so excited. He was wearing a draft night jersey shirt, like he had one, I guess, for Rivers, his buddy or his brother. Can't remember who it was. Had Morrow, and he was like, "Oh, one of my friends is a Notre Dame fan, and he's gonna get mad when I sign it." And Sanaya just goes, "So we were gonna sign that thing, right?" And the kid was just like, "Yeah, we're gonna sign it." And she was like, "I want a picture." Like, I think fan engagement stuff is awesome when done correctly. Like there's so many unknowns with this team. Like this is such a great way to have like such a good start to get the players meeting the fans. So it's like super cool that they hosted this for the season ticket holders. You're still going, Alex? You're okay? You got noise?
You're cutting in and out. I missed all that story, but I think I'm back now.
That's all right. I was just saying about a young fan who had a nice interaction with Sanaya Rivers, and I just think, like you said, fan engagement is just so great, especially because there's just so many unknowns with this team. So allowing getting people to start getting familiar with the players, the coaching staff, the new style, like it's just a cool event.
Yeah. Yeah, they said everyone was super nice and friendly. Marina was the most chatty, and I'd say Anissa seemed nice, the most nervous but excited. It's good. Marina was chatty. I would hope she'd seem nice and home and wants to be there for an entire season.
Hey, she's gonna be the face of the team. Like it's awesome.
Yeah. Next was Ep6. They said team definitely needs to develop their chemistry and work on shot consistency, but for day 3 it wasn't bad. Lindsay Allen and Yvonne Anderson stood out to me. True point guard leadership on the court, and they play very physical. Marina has definitely taken Sanaya under her wing, and the two were together. And Marina was taking her through plays and giving her tips the entire time. Pretty cool. Uh, Looks like Nelson Adota is going to get some good minutes. She was on first team walking through plays and ran most of the time, even though it could be because Morrow didn't practice. Marina was draining threes as usual. DeShields was also on bikes with Morrow. Madison Hayes looked good too. I would have guessed she was a veteran by how strong she looked. Rhea Marshall looked good too. She was getting coached up from Nelson Adodo and Robin Parks throughout practice. And Barkowska won me over today. Didn't feel as hopeless like I did in February. So that's a lot of positives from early practice.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of nice. What was it, Emma? Emma had a lot of positive feedback, which is great. And I mean, what they saw is hopefully what we're going to see, where it's this mix of veterans and rookies, and they're intertwining, finding their identity, but hopefully starting to build that team chemistry that will, progress as the season goes on.
Yeah, next, Arlene Lugo, one of our biggest supporters. She also sent in the picture that we will be referencing the most. We had a few people send in pictures. Thank you for that. But she sent in a picture of the whiteboard that we will be referencing in a little bit. Sorry, I thought I got distracted by a Trent Grisham home run, but it wasn't. But that's neither here nor there. It was fun. Marina showed out. She was also took on a leadership role, telling players to do their work early and play hard, which I love hearing. Sounds like she wants to be the leader here. Another Olivia Nelson-Odoto shout out. She said she was solid. Sanaya Rivers got a lot of playing time. She also had a lot of one-on-one time with assistants. Her defense is good, and she can jump and swatted the ball, but it was called for a foul. But it was an impressive play. Morrow and DeShields were on bikes, we already said. JC showed a lot of hustle, diving for balls on a steal attempt. It's a first JC shout out. Ray had a nice pick and layup. So good for the rookies showing out. Coaches spoke, and it all sounded good. They wanted to build chemistry and keep the ball moving, share the ball that will create gaps and exploit the gaps and take the shot. What do you think, Coach?
I mean, yeah, that's kind of like what we talked about was going to be their identity early based on the press conference. That they don't have a superstar that they're just going to throw the ball to and ISO 30 times a game. I mean, the flow should be there. The players that we're looking at are players that can do multiple things on this team. So right, not one person's just you're pigeonholed here, you're pigeonholed here. So I mean, it's very nice to see that coach is keeping the message consistent. Obviously, it's still early and things change as players develop and move, and someone breaks out. But I mean, yeah, when you're hosting a live practice, like you almost still have to pretend that nobody's there, right? So you still have to run the practice, do everything you're supposed to do, but then the public speaking part of it is like these people are paying customers, they're fans, like they want to know that the team is going to be in good hands for not just this season but future seasons. So all positive stuff.
Yeah, I know. I'm one to buy in pretty easily. So, and the roster wasn't doing it until about draft night, and I started buying in. And I like Rashid Mezian. I do. He's winning me over.
Everything I've
Um,
seen so far is I'm a fan as well.
good. I like that. I like hearing you say that. She also confirmed that the players were very sweet. She met Morrow, Borkowska, Nelson Adodo, and Sanaya and Robin Parks. She said they only gave about 30 minutes to interact, and the lines were pretty long, which kind of stinked, but it seems like they were able to get through it. She said Sanaya was really talkative and seemed appreciative and hungry to play, which is good. She said Tina Cho was a pro's pro all the way. Rhea couldn't guard her, but obviously it's good experience to have Rhea play against her, and Rhea is a good rebounder in her own right. Moving on to Maya. Um, Thank you for DMing us. Said the experience was great. Jen said that this year has been the biggest open practice they've had. Really got everyone excited for May 18th, which is good. We'll be there. Sanaya, JC, Tina, and Diamond really stood out. Olivia also looked great. She seemed a little hesitant, but overall seemed more confident in her game. This is a different take. She said, to be honest, Marina didn't seem like she wanted to be there. If there was a mistake, she would throw up her arms and sort of melt down. Fans were really trying to hype her up throughout practice. Through every shot she made, they would cheer loudly. Honestly, it kind of just sounds like Marina to me. Uh,
Yeah, I don't think it's something I don't want to say something to worry about. It's kind of hard because we have this pre-notion that she's already said like I don't want to be here, you know. But at the same time, like I want my best players on the team, like calling out teammates for not doing something right. Like at our high school, like our best player at practice he'll stop practice on his own and get the group together and be like, what the hell are you doing? Like, come on, we've gone over this every day for 3 weeks now. What are we doing? Come on, we've been doing this for a half hour. Like, you want that. Again, it's hard to say without seeing body language or exactly what was going on, but I don't see anything wrong with a leader, one of your leaders, like, I don't want to say throwing a tantrum. It's not the right phrase, but like getting on the rest of the team to be like, well, these are our expectations. Like, don't think like just because the No Shade podcast ranked us as the 10th best team in the WNBA that like that's where we're gonna be. Like I want that little spunk coming out of her.
Yeah. She also got to meet people and said everyone was really nice, and Anisha seemed a little shy. Rhea shook everyone's hand and thanked them for coming. JC was super, super nice and grateful. She said she had her family had a nice conversation with Diamond DeShields and told her where to vacation, and she said she seemed like she loved the suggestion. Yvonne was amazing. They were doing the Coke can gimmicks where they all had personalized Coke cans. Which I saw a nice video on Instagram today. They all had the Coke cans. They gave Mezion and all the players one. Mezion said he's why? Because I'm addicted to Coke Zero, and I thought of myself because that's me. I'm addicted to Coke Zero. I fucking love that shit. Excuse my language, but this is not a PG podcast. At least in my mouth. Joe might be a little more PG.
I tried my best.
Yeah, when we mess up, we mess up real bad when Joe starts swearing like crazy. Yeah, and Arlene also said she liked when what Jen and Mezion said that something that would set us apart from other teams is our connection and how really I lost my spot. Sorry, is our connection and how he really tries to make players connect, which can make them unstoppable and hard to guard. He also said there are no stars on the team and that he plays such a fast-paced game where everyone can get the ball and shine together. Kind of like what we heard from the opening stuff.
Yeah, this is the second time that someone said it, so I think it's worth noting. We know what a crazy competitor Anissa Morrow was in college. It's kind of funny that a couple of people were like, oh, she's a little bit shy off the court. It's just funny because now I'm just thinking like she's the person who just turns that switch. Like once that game starts, like she must be so locked in.
She's going from LSU to Uncasville, Connecticut. Like
it's a big culture.
Campus must on like just walking to class must have been like, oh my god, Anissa Morrow. She's gonna like be in Uncasville and like have like 5 people recognize her because that's all the people that'll be in the area.
Right.
And just to finish it off, the last 3, they all had one thing to say, and I didn't need to go back and forth at this point because it was a lot said already, but I appreciate everyone willing to take the time out of their day to talk to us. Joan Adams, they have ways to go, but it was only day 3 of practice, maybe clearly the best player on the floor. Stacy Norika, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, Norika, one of the two, hopefully. I think it was exciting to watch the first few days of a new building team cohesiveness, new team building cohesiveness. And Sarah Goodman, it was awesome to see a team put plays together and build some rhythm in real time. JC and Sinai connected on the court a few times and made me think they'll be a fun duo to keep an eye out for. I noticed Marina took on a leadership role, even stopping play at one point to give pointers and perspective, which is cool. So yeah, it seems like Marina was pretty all in. I would say even to the negative comment of, I think it was in a passionate way. If I had to say from a their perspective, just hearing all these things and having to put together a guess. Hopefully, I think I'm more hoping.
That same thing what I was saying before, like, even when your best player is stopping, like seeing their point of view, and again, it's a very young team surrounding her. Like she is one of the elder statesmen, just based on years of play. Like you want her point of view. You want to be like, hey, this is what I've seen. This is what like you need to start looking out for. So yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a great thing that she was doing, whether it's just for the public eye, whether it was behind the scenes. You never know. I don't want to throw anything negative into the atmosphere, but no, it just seemed like overall such a great thing for the Sun to host for their fans.
I think she's buying in. I hope she's buying in. We'll get there. We're almost there. You ready? You ready to do some predictions? Some more predictions?
We're going predictions, or do we want to talk about that whiteboard real quick?
Oh, shoot. Let's talk about that whiteboard. I was supposed to do it when we got to Arlene. That's my bad. Thank you, Arlene, for this wonderful picture of this whiteboard.
I have zoomed in on this thing numerous times. My eyesight, I'm 31 years old. My eyesight, my 20/20 is definitely starting to go. So,
I almost forgot we were 31 the other day.
Well, I joke that we're doing the same things that we were doing when we were 18. We're just a little bit older and a little more responsible.
Yeah, I still feel like we're in like we could be in high school still. But like, no, I literally was like, I'm still 30. And I was like, no, I turned 31 this year.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh shit, that happened.
So with this whiteboard, so what I was looking at, kind of looking at the two teams that were together, right? A couple things stood out. I liked seeing JC playing with the first squad. That seemed like an interesting choice. Again, I know a couple people didn't practice today. What it felt like. ODO was running with the first crew. Like there were some good names. Like Haley Peters was running with the first crew, which I thought was interesting. Again, they could just be mixing up players every day or whatever. Like what we do at Staples, we normally have white team, which is the first 5 and maybe 6 or 7, and then everyone else wears blue. So it kind of separates it that way of like what we roll, and your goal is to make it to white. So I'm wondering if this has any kind of relevance to that, where it's the two teams, and like if you're in orange, like that's good for the day, and if you're in gray, it's not a bad thing, but maybe you're trying to get to the next thing. So maybe that's something. And then looking at the emphasis that they put for the day, I'm pretty sure the first one I'm not even going to go. It looks like it says pack, like maybe it's defensive, pack defense, guarding, line the ball, deny pass, whatever. Then there's spacing, where it says, I think it says corner run. So I don't know if that's just, they're playing like 5 out, get to the corners. Screening angles or agendas, something like that. So understanding what you're doing on screens. No middle, which would be a no middle defense, which is, you allow the ball to go baseline, but then you're rotating over because all your help is going to be coming from the baseline instead of the middle. And then I could not read the last one. It says at point of something, which I think it says at point of the screen, because it seems like today's focus was a lot about defense and handling screens. And then watermelon, I'm sure that's just something fun for them, because it looks like there's an 11 in there, which could be a zone maybe. There's a 3 in there, like, different things within the watermelon. I'm sure I would love to somehow find out what that meant. And then in the blue, I see GG, and I'm assuming that's DHO, which would be guard to guard dribble handoff. So it looks like they're teaching stay with your own on the dribble handoff for that. And then the other one, I think it's looks like a P or maybe just a forward or something. And then it would be, so I'm thinking it's like, big guard dribble handoff. You're blowing up or you're getting through. Blowing up meaning double team it. Getting through means you're not switching. You're fighting through to get over the screen. So you're not switching guard onto a big. And then I like to have a wonderful day to a camp. I guarantee
I'm glad you mentioned
I guarantee, not guarantee, I have a funny feeling that one of the players wrote that. I don't know if Coach Mez wrote that, but I kind of want him to be the one that wrote that. But like also, I kind of want one of the players to have like gone up to the board and wrote that, whether it was one of the veterans or something. I just, either way, I think it's great because it's just like, hey, have a wonderful day 2 at camp. During the super serious situation, people, not everyone's making the roster. You got to do these kind of things sometimes to lighten the mood because it all can't just be, hard work the entire time.
Coach Roneka Hodges.
Say that again?
I'm guessing it was Coach Roneka Hodges. That's my guess.
That's your guess?
Yeah, Coach Hodges.
So that whiteboard is awesome. Kind of just seeing what the game plan is and getting an idea of the style of practice potentially they had. And, again, looking at the rosters back and forth of like, does that say anything? Or was it just, hey, it's a day 2 roster? Oh, one call out though. There was a name missing from that list, and it's Layla Lacan. I think she's still playing overseas right now.
Yeah, so is Malanga.
So I was looking at that. So maybe, I don't know how that works with the European, if they show up a couple weeks later, if it's like the season starts and they show up. I don't know, but just something to think about when we're talking about our potential rosters.
Yeah. I know I saw Malanga is playing in the playoffs, so she's going to miss the preseason games. But yeah, so anything else you want to touch up on before we start with our over-unders?
I'm sure I could talk about the essence of dribble handoffs for the next hour and a half if you let me, but let's go with the over-unders.
I can't. This is a basketball podcast. I can't make those jokes. But that's not my skill set. Talking about dribble handoffs. I want to root for my team to win. All right, so let's start off with an easy one because I actually made this prediction last episode when I gave my team wins with my standings prediction. With Sun win total 12.5. Joe, are you going over or under?
So
I'm going over with 13 because I'm stuck with it.
I'm going over as well. And what I did today was actually write out all 42 games on a piece of paper. And I went through real quick. And again, I didn't look like too deep into rosters and what games are home, away. Like I didn't go that far yet. And the number I came out with was 16. And so I would probably lean with my predictions maybe towards 14, 15, whatever. So I'm just going to go over. I don't know how much over. I want them to be in playoff contention. So, like, I definitely want to see them go over.
So if you had to put a number on it, is it 14, 15, or 16?
We're going to go 15.
All right.
15. And anything over that, I'm a huge fan of.
So I got to 12.5 by we both picked. I picked 10th. You picked 11th place. I averaged the amount of wins over the last 3 years of those two places, and I got to 12.5. But I did also look at the schedule like a psychopath, and I looked at the amount of times we played the Valkyrie, the amount of times we played the Mystic, a few times we play one or two other teams, the Sky. We got a couple ones. I didn't like 13. I really wanted to go under, but I'm sticking with my guns at 13. I'm not giving up now. I hope we get better. I really do believe in this team. I just believe that the other teams are really good. But we're going over. Next is amount of all-stars that the Sun produce. 1.5. What you got?
I'm under. I think there's a really good chance it's either Charles or Mabry, depending on stats and volume. I don't see two people making it. I was kind of looking to see if they had any rules about each team needs to have a representative.
Yeah.
I couldn't really find anything.
For anyone who doesn't know, so I'll read what I have before we pick because I should have been doing that because I have reasons why I put the numbers there. So from 22 to 2024, we've had the Connecticut Sun have had at least, I believe, three. No, we've had at least two to three players selected from the All Star team. Fun fact, but we've had a much different roster. But the WNBA All Star Game rosters are determined through a combination of fan voting, player voting, and media voting. The top 10 vote getters are automatically named to the All Star Game. The remaining spots on the team are filled by the league coaches voting on a pool of players from the next 36 highest vote getters. So in 2024, AT, Dewana Bonner, and Brianna Jones made the team. DJ Carrington, Ty Harris, and Mabry, who was on the Sky at the time, were in the pool of vote getters, but didn't make the final cut. 2023, AT and Dewana Bonner made it. Brianna Jones got votes. In 2022, Jonquil Jones, Brianna Jones, and AT made the All-Star game. So you have one player making it, but not two.
Yeah, I mean, I can see two being in consideration, but one or the other of Charles and Mabry making it.
I disagree. I'm going over. I think this is Marina Mabry's year in popularity. I think she's definitely getting in, and I think Tina Charles will get in. Will get enough votes on the ballot, and will get in with the coaches and the other people based on respect. So
Yeah.
I'm going over. All right, let's get into players now. Specifics. We're going into obviously starting with the Queen, Marina Mabry. Let's go to points per game here at 16 and a half. She averaged between 14 and 15 with a lot more scoring options in the past. So we upped it a little bit to 16 and a half. This was actually one of two props that was actually available on books, along with Tina Charles' rebounds or Tina Charles' points. I can't remember. Maybe both of those. Or maybe it was three. I can't remember. But 16 and a half was I agree that's a good number there. But I'll go first. I have it being I do have under 16 and a half. I don't think it will be all on her as people think. Only 16 players in the W scored that much last year, over 16 and a half. That's not a lot. I love Marina Mabry. I think she's the world of her, but that's MVP stuff. I don't know if this is the year she's going to win MVP. What do you got?
I did over, but it was slightly. I had it as because I do think there is going to be an uptick in scoring. I think, for the Sun this year, she is going to be the player where there's 10 seconds on the shot clock. If she catches the ball, like she can ISO somebody. So I do think there's going to be some more opportunities for her. I mean, she's going to be the number one option with the best wing defender is going to be guarding her. I can see it being like 17.2, right? I'm not saying she's going to go over and score 20, but I could see it being slightly higher. And then like transitioning into like 3-point percentage, I think she'll be under the number of 38 and a half that we had talked about. I just think volume is going to come into play there. I mean, there's no reason she should shoot lower than 33%. So I do think it won't be at that far off, but I think 38 and a half is a really good number.
Yeah. She shot a career best with Connecticut at 42.4% in 16 games. But a career is at 36.5%. She's shooting what did I want to say? She was shooting overall 37.7 last year and 39% the year before. So we landed on 38. I landed on 38.5%. You liked it? I also went under, but yeah, just under. Yeah, I do think she's going to hit a significant amount of threes. I do think she's going to take a significant amount more.
Yeah.
All right. Games played as a Sun for Marina Mabry, 35 and a half. There's 34 games before the deadline. She played 24 with Chicago last year before coming to Connecticut. What do you got? She staying or she going?
I'm back and forth on this one. I obviously want her to stay. Obviously want her to stay, but I'm going to go on a limb and say that it's probably going to be under and that we're going to end up trading her to a contender.
Who we trading her to? Make a decision right now.
Right now. We're going to trade her to Minnesota.
That's a good fit.
But I don't think they have their first round pick next year. So I don't know how much that would make sense for us. Trade her back to Chicago. They need some guards.
Is that your final decision, Chicago?
I'll probably change it like 4 more times. Trade her to the Storm. They go all in.
WNBA 2025, 2026 first round picks. Minnesota, I think, has a pick.
So I can see Minnesota. We'll go back. Minnesota will be final answer on that.
They have the Skies pick.
Oh, that's right. They made a trade, didn't they?
I don't know. That's what Tankathon says, but Tankathon has been lying about the WNBA lately. But I'm putting in links for now.
What about you? What do you think?
Over. She's staying, baby.
I hope.
Stay until she ain't. Tina Charles is next. Points per game. We have her at 15 and a half. She scored 15 last year in a similar situation roster-wise in Atlanta. I got her slightly under.
I'm the same. I think 14 point something. It's not going to be – she's going to get the touches. She's going to get the looks. I mean, it's very hard. And, I mean, just going right into 9.5 over-under on rebounds, I think it's very hard to expect a player at this point in your career, great Hall of Fame player, obviously one of the best players of all time in the league, but to average a double-double at, I believe, age 36 is a tough ask. But she's still dominant, so I don't think the numbers are going to be that far off.
You're going under for rebounds too?
I'm going under for points and rebounds. Yep.
Yeah, she had 9.5, I think, exactly last year, around there for rebounds. I'm also going under for rebounds just simply, not because she can't, but because Anissa Morrow's on the team, and she's going to gobble up rebounds.
Yes, so you're very true. Yeah.
All right. Next is another big, Olivia Nelson-Ododa. We have her at 5.5 points per game. She averaged 4 in her career. She's played 106 games over 10 minutes a game. She hasn't gotten a lot of opportunities. This could be a big step up. Either some people project her as a starting power forward. Some people project her as the sixth woman. Some people project her, backup center. So there's a lot of minutes there to be had. 5.5 points. I have her personally over. If she averaged near 4 last year, I think personally I have her as the backup to Charles when it's all settled and the minutes gets get divided, and all the dust settles and everyone fits in their role. She might start the year, who knows? But I think she'll end up being the backup, one of the backups to Charles or to the power forwards situation, which I think will be Morrow. But I think 5.5 points she could hit, even in a backup situation in a second team.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think she's definitely gonna have her opportunities this year, especially early on. Whether that is in the starting spot, whether that is the first big off the bench. I mean, you can go small and have Charles out of the game. You can play her and Charles together. There's flexibility there. So I have over as well. I think 6 points is reasonable. 3 layups or something if she's in the game, pick and roll, backdoor cut, a post up on a switch. Like there's opportunity for Olivia to take a nice little jump this year. And she was definitely a fan favorite last year with the champions or with the champion contending squad. So I think her being on the floor more, like she's going to bring energy every time she steps on the floor.
And rebounding, we got 3.5. What do you got?
Yeah, same boat. I think there's going to be a lot of rebounds to be had. I think our defense is going to be good, force a lot of missed shots. So
Run through that one more time.
I was saying I think she's going to have a nice roll off the bench. I think 6 and 4 is a reasonable ask.
Yeah, I think 4 is a reasonable ask as well. Over as well. Next is where I think things get pretty questionable. Who will get the point guard minutes? Where will they come from? We have 4 point guards, 3 categories or 3 sections. You'll see. First, we start with Lindsay Allen. She's averaged over 5 points the last 3 years. She averaged 2 on Minnesota and last year on 2 years on Minnesota and last year on Chicago. So I have her 5.5 this year. Will she average 6 points again for 4 years in a row? Will she get the minutes this year? What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, there's a logjam at point guard. I think it's a position that, it sounds like early based on some of the feedback we've heard from people that Lindsay Allen might have the first crack at starting point guard. I think JC obviously has a good shot to take that role as a young player. I keep bringing her name up, but when Layla Lacan comes over, like she could be somebody that if she's as good as, I think advertised, like she could eat away minutes. So with that, I mean, if Lindsay's getting the first crack at it, there's also Jan Anderson. Like there's a loaded backcourt and a lot of people who are going to have opportunities. I don't see her potentially averaging 6 points this year if that's the case, if those minutes are going to be split heavily. So I'm going to say under. I could maybe a couple buckets a game. Really depends on the minutes. I can't tell you, if she's going to play 25 minutes or if she's going to play 18. So I would lean towards the under.
That's why these are predictions, Joe. You have to predict them. They're guesses. You're allowed to be wrong. Yeah, I also have the under.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah,
I don't like being.
I don't think she's going to fit into the game plan that much as the season goes. Like she's going to have to ball out in the beginning of the season, maybe when they're rotating to see how everyone flows. As we get into the next next group of ladies, I don't want to spoil it, but I think that's more where we will go. Lindsay Allen has played some nice years, but I think with Mezion, in this team, I just think these next two are where they're going, and that's J.C. Sheldon and Layla LeCan. Their combined stats we have. So I think these two are where the real point guard minutes are going to come. I think they're going to split time. So we have 10 points per game and 5 assists per game for them both. Um, I do think both of them are going to get a lot of minutes, going to get a good amount of minutes, but I still think they're both going to hit the under marks for 10 and 5. I do think it'll be split. I do think Yvonne Anderson we have coming up will get some minutes. I think early in the season, Lindsay will get some minutes as well, as we talked about. Maybe that'll weigh him down a little bit. Maybe they go bigger and don't play true point guard sometimes. Um, and yeah, and maybe they just won't be. They won't be scoring a lot. I don't think. I think the bigs will be scoring, and I think Mabry will be scoring. Um, so it's whether they'll be assisting or not, and it's tough to say. So 5 is kind of a lot. So I'm gonna go under for both, but slightly under in the assists. Probably slightly under on both, but yeah.
The way I'm looking at it, I agree. I don't know what to predict with points per game. Oop, sounds like we have a. The way I look at it is I see JC and Layla probably, like you said, under with points. I don't know where the points are going to come from, but it seems like it's going to be a very equal opportunity at the point guard position. But for assists, I think that'll be higher because if they're true point guards in this scenario, like they're hitting some shooters or they're hitting some bigs off the pick and roll. So I'm going to say under for the points per game combined, but I'm going to say over for the assists.
Nice. All right. Next, we have our. Oh no, we still have Yvonne Anderson. Almost skipped it. Points per game, we got 5 for her as well. I said under as again. I think the strategy will be to go younger by the end of the season. So even if she is averaging this for the first half of the season, I think by the end she probably won't be. So I think she will shine for a decent amount of the season or in games she plays later in the season, but I just don't think the like minutes will stay there. And I think she'll get in a lot less minutes throughout the game and it'll take it down.
Yeah, same boat. I think it'd be nice if you get 4 guards to average 4 to 5 points a game, because then they're averaging 20 a game per a full game. But yeah, I'm just not confident in giving any individual player at the point guard position for us 5 points a game for the season. I think there's going to be a lot of changes. I think when LeCan eventually comes over, I think she's going to eat away at a lot of minutes whenever that is. Yeah, I just would say under.
All right, let's go to our rookies now. We got Anissa Morrow out of the LSU Tigers, as I'm wearing another LSU shirt from 2019, the glory years of LSU football. We got points per game, 12.5. This was hard to set because even when her team was loaded in college, she was scoring 16 to 18 points. But this is just a new level of competition. We got her 12.5. I'll let you go first. We seem to be agreeing a lot, so I'll let you give the reasoning if we agree again.
I mean, it's hard to see her averaging 13 a game to start the season, to be honest. I think maybe she ends up
going any lower.
She kind of ends up in that if she ends up in that Carrington role of being, the third, fourth option on offense. I think, like I said, her hustle and rebounding skills probably going to get her somewhere between 6 and 8 points a game just from being able to rebound. Who knows if she'll be able to put back those rebounds as effortlessly as she was able to in college. So, even if she's pulling down 8, 9 rebounds a game, like she might not be able to turn around and go right back up, make a layup. So it might lower her points, 2, 3, 4 points a game. So I'm going to say under for points per game, but I can see her averaging double figures. And then for rebounds, I think 8 is a number that's right on the money. I can see her averaging 8 a game. So just for the sake of an over-under, I'll give it a little bit of an over. Maybe she averages 8.2.
I'm waiting that. When you say something specific like that, I'm putting it. Yeah, I have her under 12 and a half points at 9 to 10 points per game. I do think she can be a double-digit scorer as well. I think she's that good. And 8, yeah, I have her crushing the over. I think she's a double-digit rebound getter. I think she's that like her hustle is that good. She's gonna get it. She's gonna get the ball anywhere like it goes. I think she's just gonna like watch. I just like watching her highlights. Like it's like not even like her highlights because like it's not like it's like the rebound and like you have to watch like the putback rebounds to find them because it's like her getting the ball is like the highlight to me, and then like her going back is almost like icing on the cake. It's like her just finding the ball and the rebound is so nice. It's like she's just like a magnet. It's like I just want to see like her rebounding, just the ball, like on those. Like I just want a compilation of that. It's her finding the ball and the rebound when she's not directly under it.
You tonight, Alex.
Yeah, you hear me?
I can hear you now. I think Spectrum's doing a number on you.
Okay. It was doing good for me, and then you just went faster. So I think hopefully this sounds good when I listen to this back because I'm gonna have to now. If not, we apologize. I just went on about how good of a rebounder Anissa Mara was in college for like 5 minutes. It felt like. So you missed that. But yeah, I have her over in 10 rebounds per game and about 9 to 10 points per game, but that's under. So we agree there. We've been agreeing a lot more than our last couple predictions.
Yeah.
In our final Anissa Mara over under is 3. It's actually a three for. It's field goal. It's their slash line: field goal, 3-point, and free throw percentage at 45%, 23%, and 70%. In college, she was 45, 23, and 70. So it's a little less than her college averages. 70 is exact on. Oh no, that's what I said it was. What did I write down? Oh, I didn't actually write down her college ones. I just said it was a little less. Sorry. You have to believe me for that one. I have over for all 3, Joe. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think over for all 3. The only one maybe I could see being under is 45% from the field. Just going back to my argument about maybe a couple more contested layups, offensive rebounds, and kicking it back out. But I think all 3 will be over.
All right. Next, we got Sanaya Rivers. First is points per game. We got 5 points per game. She's not a typical scorer. That's not what we're paying her to do, but 5 points per game. Do you think she could do it, Joe? It was a tough line to put. But 5 is where we typically have a lot of these players. Do you think she could hit it?
Yeah, I think I'm going to have her going over, whether it's 6 or 7 a game. I think Sanaya has the best chance of being our best transition player, taking off on a fast break. We get a rebound. She could be ahead of the crowd, have a couple easy baskets that way, and then if she's attacking the rim or getting to the free throw line. So I have her over 5 points.
I have her under. I just don't think she's going to look to score that much. Probably is going to end up looking close. It's probably going to be like 4.7 watch the game. Like 4.8, 4.5, something like that. But I think it's really going to be Morrow, Charles, Mabry. I really don't know where this scoring is coming from. I don't like
from everybody.
I don't love my results. Field goal percentage, 40% from Sanaya Rivers. I put over. I think she will be smart with her chances, and I think she will make her buckets matter, and she'll score when she does shoot.
I had over as well. I think somewhere mid 40s, most likely. I don't think she's going to be a volume shooter. So I think her opportunities are, like I said, fast break layups or open jumpers on a driving kick to the corner for a three or something.
All right, we're coming down to the last home stretch here. We got steals for her, 35 and a half. In college, she had 57 steals twice and 75 steals once. I have absolutely no idea how it'll translate to the WNBA, but the WNBA steals leader has won before with 57 steals, 58 steals, 74 steals, and 75 steals. So take all that information with however you want. And give me your answer. Or did you not hear any of that?
It was kind of in slow motion, but I heard 35 and a half steals is the number.
Yeah. But in college, Sanaya Rivers had 57 steals twice, 75 steals once, and I don't know how that'll translate to the WNBA, but the WNBA steals leader has had 57, 58, 74, and 75 steals to win.
Oh,
Steals
wow.
leader. So I don't know what that means, but do with what you may.
I think she has the opportunity. Like I said, I think she's going to be guarding a lot of the best wings in the league, best guards at times. She's going to have opportunities. I'm excited to see how she's in passing lane denying. If I think she's going to get a lot of transition layups, part of that's going to be because she's getting steals and taking it the other way. So for steals, I have her over 35 and a half.
Darn, I have her over as well. I think she's just going to be nasty with her hands, just like swiping balls, stealing just everything she can. Like she's going to make her money that way. She's not like her offense isn't like she's going to like it's not going to be a factor. Like she's going to make me eat my words on draft night that like I'm going to be like, oh, I wanted to score. It's going to be like, well, we have the best defensive player in the league now, so shut up. But let's see if we agree here. The last one for her is blocks. I didn't know how to set this number, but I thought it'd be fun to guess. 22 and a half for blocks. She's not the tallest player in the world. She's 6'1". But she got hops and she blocks a lot of people in college as well. But I do have her under. I just don't think she'll be. I think she'll be less in a position to block as many people in the W as she was in college.
Yeah, I agree. I have her under as well for blocks. I think that same thing. I don't think she's going to be in position to get as many blocks, and I think just there's the better athlete in the WNBA to be able to figure ways to get around or get the rookie into foul trouble.
All right, and lastly, we got the remaining big woman, Ray Marshall, Camilla Borkowska, and Carriata Daibi combined points. Whoever makes the team, whoever's left. We got points per game and rebounds per game, 3.5 each. I went over on both of them. I think the bigs are going to rotate. I think Nelson Adodo might be a power forward, might be the backup power forward, might switch with Morrow a lot, and like one of these might step up and become the backup center. What do you think?
I have her as under for both. I don't know. I don't know what kind of opportunity she's going to have. I think that's one of those where it's got to kind of see how the roster shapes out. Um, she's young. She's playing behind, Olivia and Charles to see, and probably Morrow at the forward position. So if she's the fourth forward or maybe the fifth forward, depending on if Boriskowska gets a role and everything. But yeah, I have her for under, Raya for under everything.
Okay, that wraps up our over-unders, and we mainly agreed. Let me see how many we disagreed. All-Stars, Marina points per game, games played, Layla LeCan's and JC's average, and Sanaya Rivers points per game. That's it. It's more than I thought, actually. All right, let's get into our roster predictions before this podcast goes off the rails again. We're having trouble here with technical difficulties, but we wanted to do this next episode after the preseason games, but they're already making cuts, so we have no idea when they'll make cuts and when the finalized roster will be. So next episode could have a roster reaction. We'll have no idea if it'll be finalized. We might do another preseason or another roster prediction after the preseason games based on what they have left. We don't know. We just wanted to get it out there now just in case they have a final roster before we have the next episode. So I'll go first, and then Joe, you can go. I have a locks category and almost guaranteed my picks to make it, and then who would have made the last. Wouldn't be surprised if they made the last spot and who's left. My locks are Marina Mabry, Tina Charles, Anissa Morrow, Sanaya Rivers, and Yvonne Anderson, because Yvonne's got a guaranteed contract. We got our two rookies. Some people don't lock your rookies in the WNBA. I'm calling cap on that. I've never said that phrase in my life. Don't know why I just said that now, but I am calling bullshit. They're guaranteed locks. Tina Charles is an absolute legend, guaranteed contract. Marina may be the same. Almost guaranteed. Diamond DeShields, JC Sheldon, Olivia Nelson Adodo, Lindsay Allen. And then my picks to make it are Layla Lacan, Rhea Marshall, and Camilla Borkowska. I think both of the bigs make it. But wouldn't be surprised to make the last spot over either Rhea Marshall or Camilla is Caitlin Bickle or Haley Peters. And that leaves, obviously, Abby Shue, Maya Hollingshed, Morgan Molly, all already gone. Amy Okonkwo, Harrietta Daibi, Robin Parks, and Madison Hayes, who would get waived. Joe, I leave the floor to you.
Yeah, I didn't hear all your roster, but we'll post these as well because I feel like this will be a good post. I know we're having a lot of back and forth issues. I kind of just did mine as a whole of predicting the 12. Pretty much I got 11 spots, and I'm leaving one open because I'm not really sure. But I have Lindsay Allen, JC Sheldon, Sanaya Rivers, ODO, Tina Charles, Marina Mabry, Anissa Morrow, Diamond DeShield, Yvonne Anderson, Camilla Boriskowska, Rhea Marshall, who would be technically like the 12th. I think she's like makes the team as like the 12th player. And then the last spot is between, I have 3 players, which is Madison Hayes, Haley Peters, and Layla Lacan. I don't know how it works if like the European players aren't ready, if they don't have to be rostered right away and then they're able to be rostered at a later date. I think Layla would be the favorite for that last spot. Madison Hayes being the second, and then Haley Peters being third.
All right, nice. There you have it. Anything else you want to add to this never-ending podcast of never-ending Wi-Fi failures?
Oh my goodness! You know what? Like yesterday, or episode 5, we had such a celebration, and now with episode 6, like they're really trying to throw the gauntlet at us to be like, do you
As
really
he's frozen,
want to do this?
as he's frozen in robot voice talking.
So I think if we make it through this one and we lose an hour and 20 minutes of footage, it'll be good. If we get through this episode, we'll get through it. Because if you're still in,
Oh my god, you just got out of it. You were in robot voice and frozen face forever. I don't know what people heard, what they didn't, but that was a lovely speech.
Oh, thank you.
I think most of it was on camera, though. Like, when you didn't hear me, I was talking and it was going, and I wasn't spinning to the people. And when I was spinning and gone, you were talking. I think it worked out. I'll hate fucking listening to myself. It's only hour 15. At least it's not like 3 hours long. But yeah, if this episode never gets uploaded, it's because I never listened to it back. Or it's so bad I could never upload it. And I just uploaded our predictions on Instagram. Said sorry. All right. Thanks for listening. You guys are real fans.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Shout out to Randy. He's probably watching. He's probably the only one listening still. Him and Arlene. Hopefully Arlene listens to the whole episode. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just Randy, though. That's my boy. See, well, we got a couple weeks, but see a lot of you at opening day. Because a lot of people who were in our messages are season ticket holders who are at the event.
Yeah, if you see us, we'll say it again. Don't feel hesitant to come up to us and say hello. We're 2 very talkative people, so we appreciate it. The support.
And hopefully, the goal I want to do is to print out some stickers and hand them to strangers to promote the podcast. So hopefully we do that. We need a real logo first. I can't be having this logo. This logo's ass. God, Joe's frozen, but at least he's got a beautiful smile. Come on, Joe. Come back to us. Come back to us, Joe. There he is. He's back.
I'm here. I feel like the penguins in Madagascar. I'm just sitting here going, smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
We were stuck on a beautiful smile, so it was great.
Yeah, we'll see how this handles. But thanks everyone for listening.
What do you think about the sticker situation, though?
The stickers?
Yeah. You like it?
I like it. I like stickers. I think it's stickers and magnets.
Yeah, we go put stickers all over Mohegan Sun.
Yeah,
we put them on Krispy Kreme, on slot machines, on Krispy Kremes. Slot machines, Krispy Kremes, Lakers in 5. All right. See you later, people.
Bye, everybody.